My friends, how are you? It's fantastic to see you for yet another video, and while it's always good to see you, the news is always bad, my friends. I mean, there is literally nothing good coming out of the Donald Trump regime, but today I want to give you a little bit more of the boots on the ground reporting, because as you guys know, I am a truck driver, and I'm seeing the economy crumble before our very eyes right out here in front of us. And I know we cover a lot of the news and what's going on out there, but I know you guys like to hear sort of that, like I said, that boots on the ground reporting of what's actually going on. And that's why some of you subscribe. So today we're going to do that for you. I think that's why some of you subscribe. Maybe it's my charming personality and dashing good looks. I don't really know why you're here, but it's good to see you guys nonetheless. Donald Trump's tariffs are absolutely causing trouble for the American truck driver. And today I'm going to go over sort of a little bit of anecdotal evidence, my own experience out here, and then we'll also sort of go over some of the industry chatter that's going on out there. So if you guys remember, it was not too long ago, I covered, there was a truck stop that I was stuck at on a Monday morning, and this truck stop was packed full of truck drivers waiting for something to do, waiting for their dispatcher to tell them what they were doing next. The Denny's was full of truck drivers just having their morning coffee, talking to other truck drivers, all in the exact same boat. They were wondering what the hell they were going to do next. And see, since I've been a truck driver for so long, that was a very highly unusual sight, my friends, because normally on a Monday morning, a truck stop empties the fuck out. It may be pretty common starting around Friday evening or so, all the way into early Monday morning, very early Monday morning, for truck stops to be very difficult to park in, because a lot of these shippers and receivers shut down on the weekend out here, and truckers are sort of staged up for their next load or unload that they need to do. So weekends in a truck stop can be an absolute fucking nightmare, but on a Monday morning, getting into like 10 a.m., starting to get into afternoon, and the truck stop is still full of truck drivers, that's a very alarming scene, my friends. And I wanted to keep my, ear to the streets, of course, as a truck driver, and see what else I'm noticing out here. And it just is, it's bad. It's really bad, my friends. And I know a lot of people, when they come into these videos and see my hillbilly looking face, their first instinct is to scream in my comment section, "You voted for him, you deserve this." And I assure you, if you're still watching this long and that's what you think of me, this is not a fuck around and find out video, my friends. I have never supported that son of a bitch Donald Trump. I have never voted for that son of a bitch Donald Trump. Do you know why? Because I bother to fucking pay attention to the world around me. I bother to understand how, to a point, now I'm not an expert, but understand how global economies work, how supply chains work, and shit like that. And for that very reason alone, as a truck driver, I couldn't justify voting for Donald Trump, knowing that tariffs are going to crush the fucking supply chain. That would be absolutely ridiculous. And that's only on that front. Not to mention all of Donald Trump's very poor traits. He's a horrible person by any measure possible. I couldn't possibly bring myself to vote for Donald fucking Trump, all right? So I want to be clear, it's not a fuck around and find out video. But let's start off with, excuse me, I get going sometimes and my old lungs get tired and I start coughing all over the place. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, sort of my anecdotal evidence of what's going on in my world. And like I said, we'll cover some more industry chatter as we go through the video, but it is starting to get really fucking bad for truck drivers out here. We're really starting to see it. So on top of that crazy Monday morning where none of the truck drivers were leaving, I was in Denver yesterday, my friends. I was over there and getting ready to get loaded to head to Iowa, right? So while I was in Denver waiting to get loaded to head to Iowa, they canceled the fucking thing. They said, "Hey, we're not loading this out. You're done. Get out of here." And it was just because there was no need for that freight on the other end. All right, that happens sometimes in trucking, right? Not a big deal. You think something's going to happen and it completely fucking changes. So had it stopped there, I wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't. So they said, okay, we got nothing for you in Denver, all right? What we need you to do is we need you to head to Kansas City to pick up your next load. All right, and don't worry, my friends, I'm getting paid for this. This truck doesn't move for free, right? So I get in my truck and I start heading out, and it got late last night. And so I got up this morning. I hadn't made it to Kansas City yet. And I get up this morning and I start trucking down the road again, just minding my business. I get a message comes through, hey, that load just canceled on you. Keep rolling, we're figuring it out, but that load just canceled. Like, okay, fine. And I just keep rolling. I'm minding my business, right? They send me another load, same place, right? Over there in Kansas City, same fucking place. All right, cool. I'm in business. I'm still headed the right direction. Then about 10 minutes later, my friends, my phone rings. And they go, hey, it's my dispatcher. And they go, hey, that load, it just canceled on you. I said, you already told me that. He goes, no, the new load that I just gave you, that just canceled on you also. So if we're keeping score, my friends, that's three. That's 3 loads that just canceled on me, all within less than 24 hours. I went, what in tarnation is going on around here, my friends? What exactly is happening? And now they're sending my ass up to Iowa. They're like, there's something for you there. And I don't know yet. Hopefully by the time I get to Iowa, it's still there waiting for me. We'll see how it's going. And the reason, like, I'm able to kind of laugh it off. Like, I don't want to sound arrogant or like a dick or anything. A lot of truck drivers live paycheck to paycheck out here. A lot of truck drivers live paycheck to cash advance to paycheck out here. Trucking doesn't pay a whole lot of money these days, especially if you're trying to be somebody that has a house or a car or anything like that. A lot of truckers straight up can't afford that shit. And I'm not picking on them when I'm saying that. What I'm saying is that's the sorry state of the fucking industry that, you know, people that help move the supply chain and make sure that Americans have the products they want and need on a daily basis are barely fucking making ends meet, my friends. That's the way this works. That's the way it goes. And lucky for me, I found myself in this position where you guys watch my fucking videos and I'm able to sort of survive that way. That's sort of what's going on. So this video isn't for me. This isn't about me, and this is about the fucking industry, what's happening to America's truck drivers out there. And my friends, if you've never been a truck driver, you sacrifice your whole goddamn life to do this fucking job. And forget about it. Just forget about any semblance of a normal personal life whatsoever. It's fucking done for. And you got these dreams of making money, and they get fucking crushed over and over and over. So if you see me fall, in trucking at this current point with this YouTube channel and with me still driving the truck, then you know shit hit the fan about a fucking year ago, my friend. Shit went real bad. But we are definitely starting to see a lot more truckers go, oh, fuck. What is happening here? What is fucking happening? And that's just sort of the things I've witnessed just over the last couple days. And it is true that a lot of truck drivers did vote for Donald Trump. I don't fucking know why. I do not understand the whole thing with Donald Trump about how so many people came out to vote against their own fucking interest. As a matter of fact, a lot of truckers just straight up fucking hate my ass because I talk about their orange god king over there and let them know that he's fucking this entire thing up. They can't have that, right? You can't talk about him. But anyways, fucking lost my train of thought there. So let's talk a little bit about sort of the industry chatter that I'm seeing going on out there. Now, there's a company, I'm not going to say the name of the company, it doesn't matter. They're a very large company, a large trucking company. And a lot of how they run their business is on the lease purchase programs where a trucker can, you know, it's sort of like a buy here, pay here car dealership, right? You're going to have an inflated rate, like no credit check, no down payment, but you're going to have an inflated truck payment and all these things. And some people call it a scam. It can be predatory. You got to sort of find the right one. I'm doing one right now. And like, it's, yeah, I have bills every week to pay to drive my own truck, but we don't need to go into that. It can be predatory. There are some definitely scammy parts of it, parts of the business, but this large company has built an entire business off of leasing their trucks to drivers where the truck drivers make the payment on the equipment equipment for the company, and the company kind of releases themselves of any sort of responsibility for that equipment, and the truck driver in that truck carries that burden on their back. I don't know. I don't want to go into the argument right now of what's better. It's just kind of, you pick your poison out here in trucking, right? You either own a truck, or you lease a truck and have some sort of semblance of freedom and decision making out here, or you just be a company driver and you get treated like shit every chance they get. Like, they will run your ass into the fucking ground, and you better not give them any fucking lip about it. And that's, you gotta pick what you want to do, right? But this huge company also used to be very big on giving truck drivers referral bonuses if they could get new drivers to come along. Very common thing in the trucking industry. But years ago, one driver decided they would take that hustle to YouTube, which I don't mind. Everybody's got a hustle, or should have a hustle in this day and age, my God. And he took that show on the road, got on YouTube, and made a killing off of referral bonuses through his YouTube videos. Like 6 figures a year off of just referral bonuses, which good for him. But it sparked this entire movement inside that company for everybody out there, and it spilled over outside that company. I've collected referral bonuses off of YouTube channels too. I fucking have. Hey, we gotta get paid out here. We're hungry, my friends. But that company especially, it took off like a fucking wildfire, where almost every driver that went to work for that company started making YouTube videos, started using that company's name in their titles to get people to come watch them. And every one of them said, use my referral code if you decide to come work here. And that part I don't mind. I don't care. If a company's paying out referral bonuses and a driver gets another driver, well, you just save that company a ton of money in like HR and advertising and shit like that. And you get to reap the rewards as the truck driver. Fine with me. But now what you're watching is a mass exodus from this massive trucking company, as their truck drivers are going fucking bankrupt on these lease purchase programs, and with the cost of their truck compared to how much they're getting paid for freight, if there is even freight available right now. I have watched multiple videos from this trucking company, the various people that make content across YouTube, where they're going weeks without even seeing a check. They're not even breaking even. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and they're going, what the fuck do I do? And then they're leaving their truck, they're taking it back, and they're leaving. And this is a company that's been around for a long fucking time in America, where many people have been successful in their lease purchase program over there. And you've got drivers rushing to the internet in mass right now to say, fuck, we just lost our asses over here, and everything's bad. There's not enough freight. The freight rates are too low. The fuel prices are too fucking high. And I ask you, my friends, does that sound like an improved economy to you? Does that sound like Donald Trump has fixed a goddamn thing? It doesn't. And the time for excuses is long gone. It's over. We are, 7 months into this now, and you no longer get to blame Joe Biden. A lot of people go, well, it takes a lot of time to fix the fuck-ups of the last 4 years because they're dumb, and they're not paying attention to the fact that Joe Biden's administration and policy that came through the government helped pull us out of the fucking absolute mess that Donald Trump actually made. And by every actual metric out there, that is true. If you look at the numbers, it's the truth. But you know how the MAGA movement is. Everything's based on emotions over there and their feelings. They don't like facts. They like how they feel about something. All right? Whew, damn, I'm out of breath. Anyways, so the point of all that is it's not just me. I wouldn't make a video to bitch about how I'm having a hard time out here. That would be fucking silly. What I'm telling you is an industry-wide fucking purge is happening right now. I watch a couple guys here on YouTube that are actual owner-operators, own their trucks, and they're going, where the fuck is the money? Where's the money? And the money's not coming. The money's not coming because the supply chain is so goddamn broken now that it is going to take actual fucking years to correct this, if we even correct it. I don't know if we will, because it's not the supply chain anymore. It's the relationships with other countries that are absolutely fucking destroyed. Got a lot of Canadians that watch me. Thank you. I appreciate that you're here. And they are rightfully pissed off at America right now. The 51st state rhetoric, the fucking tariffs on everything, all the bullshit that Donald Trump has tried to do to Canada has not it's not a supply chain issue. It's a lot of people saying, well, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, motherfucker. If that's the way you're going to treat us, we can get our goods from other places. We can make other trading partners. It's the relationships that are absolutely shot at this point, just absolutely fucked up. But the fact of the matter is, since Donald Trump came into office, Donald Trump launched all these fucking trade wars with other countries. Donald Trump has increased the cost of everyday goods on American people through those trade wars. Donald Trump has put American people in a spot where they can't afford as much as they could 6-7 months ago before he got into office, which means they're not buying as much things, which reduces the strength of the supply chain. And that's done like by the millions of people that just straight up can't afford extra shit anymore. And this is all done through trade wars. This is all done through the tariffs. And still, we're at the same point that we have been, my friends, where not a goddamn thing has been done to actually bring manufacturing back. And there's so much to that too, all right? No, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't worked with Congress and the Senate to pass any kind of bills that would incentivize that. You know, I've gone over this over and over. The closest we got to it was fucking Tim Apple in there fucking like bribing him with gold for some fucking reason. That's it. That's the closest an actual deal has been. Like, there's nothing fucking happening. But we are starting to see it now. We really are starting to see it ripple through the trucking industry in America. I think the examples I gave are pretty fucking good. It's very, very unusual to see a truck stop packed full of truckers on a Monday morning. Something's fucking wrong. It is very unusual to have 3 loads back to back cancel on you. That is extremely unusual. And it is extremely unusual for one of the country's largest carriers with just an absurd amount of truck drivers out there going bankrupt en masse right now and having to give up the truck that they've been paying on for so long because the rates just aren't there and the freight volumes just aren't fucking there. And we're watching it happen. That's what we're seeing. Anyways, whew, I still got shit to do, luckily, so I better get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.